freedom. I know a lot of people have told you find a niche, have a niche. I've said it also like 1,001 times that have a niche, have a niche. But how do you actually find your niche? This video, I'm going to be helping you find your niche. So this video is not about top 10 high paying niches and all of that. We are going to really like help you find your niche. This is going to be like a scientific approach to helping you discover that thing that can help you stand out in the remote job landscape, in your freelance journey, even in your business as a business person, to highlight your strengths and just play down on your areas or your weak areas. If this sounds like what you want to watch, hit the subscribe button and let's get started. So first of all, why should you niche? Why should you have a niche? These are the two reasons why I can tell you that it's important to have a niche. One, it makes you memorable. So for instance, you say that you are a virtual assistant and you just say I'm a virtual assistant and I do maybe calendar management, like all the general stuff. It doesn't make you memorable. So if you say something like I am a virtual assistant that helps seven-figure course creator create systems that help them focus more on creating the products while I help handle other stuff. Like this is just like an example at the top of my head. So that makes you more memorable. Someone that is a seven-figure, six-figure course creator will feel more drawn to you because like, okay, you get me and you can help me better. Or someone like say, oh, I'm a virtual assistant that helps content creators. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like it just makes you more memorable. And the more specialized you are, the more like people feel like you know what you're doing, like you have more experience. It just feels like you have more experience, and that might not necessarily be the case. So that's like one reason. Number two, it gives you an advantage. I cannot even overemphasize this. Now let me tell you a quick story. When I started as my journey, my remote work journey, freelancing journey, I went on a freelance marketplace to like find clients, and it was very competitive. I'm a content writer, so I just like, oh, I'm a content writer, I write blog posts, I like that. I didn't get any gig, I didn't get any clients because the service I'm providing is like very broad, very general, and there are like 1,000,001 other people, more experienced people that are providing the same service. So it did not make me stand out, and I didn't have reviews. I was just a newbie. So it's very difficult for you to break into the market if you are not niche. So I figured out a niche and I searched and I discovered that on that platform we are just a couple of like tens of people in that niche, and there was a demand because I saw that people that were in that niche have clients and all of that. So I actually created my gig in that niche, and in a couple of days I started getting clients. So this is what niche can do for you. And that is what we are going to help you discover. So before I go straight into how to help you, how we're going to dissect the whole process of discovering your niche, now let me quickly talk about the mistakes that people make. So when it comes to niching, you don't want to go the extreme. So this is a lot of mistake that people without experience, newbies make. Now, you do not want to, first of all, you do not want to niche yourself into isolation. I actually made a post about this on LinkedIn. Do not niche yourself into isolation. Why I say that it's important to be a specialist, to specialize in one thing. It's always important to also know, like validate whatever you are going to, the service you're going to be providing, validate it with the market, the demand in the market. So for instance, you're going to be niching yourself as, oh, maybe I help female founders between ages of 60 to 70 create that love dogs, that love to, when you like super hyper niche, you can niche yourself into isolation because the niche that you're putting yourself into is to end up like there are not a lot of people in that niche. You might end up niching yourself into a point that there is really no demand for your service. And if you are going to make money from the service that you offer as a remote worker, as a freelancer, well, the very important thing is demand. You must ensure that there is demand for the service that you are offering. Because if there is no demand, it doesn't matter how good you are or how excellent you are, there's just nobody that is interested in buying whatever you want to offer. All right. So the second problem is making your niche about yourself. Like, it's just about, okay, this is what I like. Maybe I like to play football, or okay, I want to help. Maybe I'm a web designer, so I want to create web design for only footballers that are from Africa. Like, do not make it about you. It's about the clients that you're looking to serve, your target client. So when you are, one of the things I've learned about niching is that when you are trying to be specific with the pain points of your target audience in mind. So the thing is that if I want to reach young people, maybe young people from 18 to 35, what is their biggest problem? What is their like most painful problem that they need? For instance, I want to reach creators, for instance, and I want to have a service for creators. I cannot go, oh, I'll help you create a list of ideas that you can create, like that you can post, a list of social media ideas, content ideas. That might be a need, but it's not I'm not solving a painful problem. So for a creator, the painful problem would be how to make their post get views and more engagement. So if I say that I can help you write scripts that is sure to give you at least 20,000 views on every video, that is a painful problem that I am solving. And if I have built a system that ensures that I get these results, repeatedly, then that is a painful problem. So those are the mistakes that a lot of people make when it comes to niche. So there are a lot of mistakes, but let's go straight into what then, if that all these mistakes exist, the big question is, what is the perfect niche? So I did my research, based on my experience and the experiences of other people. I love to do research and the experiences of other people. So I came up with some bullet points about what makes up the perfect niche. So let us go straight to the board and let me walk you through what I think, based on the research, makes up the perfect niche. So, yep. I hope you can see what I'm trying to do. So number one is, many fishes in the river. So don't mind what I wrote, just look at what I'm trying to say, aka there is demand. Like I've said this before. So when you're choosing a niche, make sure that there is demand. Now let me use my analogy of many fishes in the river. So if you are going to be offering a service and there are just a couple of people that need your service, you cannot grow beyond the demand for your service. So if just like 10 people ever need your service in this life, you can't grow beyond those 10 people, right? So it doesn't matter how skilled a fisherman is, if he's just fishing in a river that has with little to no fish, he can't get any fish, no matter how skilled he is. But if you take the opposite scenario, if someone that is not so skilled and is fishing in a river with plenty of fish, with just a little effort, you will start to see results. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Yep. So this is one thing you have to check when you are trying to figure out your niche. Make sure there is demand. So how do you make sure that there's demand? It's by doing research. I love to do research, and because research helps you to understand what is going on and how you can tap into the market. So you do your research. What do people need right now? What is the need? What is the situation? For instance, now content creation is like a big thing now. Building community is like a big thing now. So you have to understand the trend, what is going on, and to see how to bring your own personal coloring, your personality, your interest into the already training stuff, into what is already working, and then so that is it. So the number two thing you have to check is that your target clients have money. This is very important. So this varies from location to location, place to place, target audience they're trying to reach. Ensure that they can afford your services. So for instance, if you're targeting teenagers, you know that these people maybe they don't have money. You're targeting people of like 13 to 18. They've not started working, in majority of them, so they may not have money to pay for the services that you're offering. So the older, the older the age range, the more money they can pay, and also the status. For instance, you are targeting people that are looking for jobs. They are looking for jobs, they don't have money, and you want to sell high ticket services to people that are looking for a job. That's a wrong niche because they don't have money, right now. So always ensure that your target audience have the money and they are willing to pay for your services. So the next thing you're going to that makes up a good niche is it is not too easy to learn. See, this one is just the personal test that I used to do. So I even had a call with someone in my community, and the person was like, okay, like, what can I have to do? Should they do this? Should they do that? Like, this is really trendy right now. I know that when something is really popular, like a lot of people are rendering a service, it shows that there is demand for it. But another time, when it comes to niching, if something is too easy to do, then you just know that you're not going to make a lot of money doing that stuff. Especially if you are looking for a remote job, you're not going to make a lot of money in that niche, because I call it the entry barrier. The lower the barrier to entry, the more general it is, and you have a lot of people to compete with. So let's say, for instance, virtual assistant. Now, these days, a lot of people are going into becoming virtual assistant. Being a virtual assistant, like the general sense of it, is the barrier to entry is really low, because anybody can just learn how to schedule, email management, and all of this stuff that they do, the general administrative stuff, is what anybody can learn in like a couple of hours. If I want to learn, I can learn it like in a couple of hours, and they're good to go. So it makes the competition is more, and the value is going to drop, because demand and supply. When the demand is higher than the supply, the value of the stuff just drops. Like, that's just math. That's just economics, right? So that is it. So the lower the barrier to, and the more anybody can learn it, so the value of that stuff is not, you're not going to make a lot of money doing that stuff. So that is another way. So when you want to niche, ask yourself, how easy is this thing to learn? If it's generally easy, then you can now niche in a way that you can now niche on that popular easy stuff. You understand? And then now bring in research on what the most painful problem is, and how you can bring in something that not everybody can do, that is more professional and more skilled. I hope that helps. So another thing that you check when it comes to having a perfect niche is solving a painful problem. Like, I cannot even overemphasize this. Like, this thing is like, maybe because as a copywriter or someone that also learns sales, the more painful a problem is, it's easier to sell, because there's already a pain point. So if you have to ask yourself, what problem are you solving and how painful is it? So when I started as a content writer, people that own businesses that have websites, then when Google, was still, the king of search, AI wasn't in the picture at that time. A lot of businesses, the most painful problem is that they need to get eyeballs on their products or services, and they need to educate people in their category, like educate people about their products or services, and then sell to them, put them in their email list, and upsell them and all of that. So the painful problem is how to get that. So if being an SEO content writer was like a thing at that time, so if you know how to write content that gets seen by people, that people get, like, it was a painful problem for businesses. So they were ready to pay a fortune for that. So you ask yourself, if you are going to be rendering a service and say, oh, I'll just do design templates, I'll just arrange your email. If it's something ChatGPT can do easily, then you have to rethink that niche, like the longevity of that niche. If it's something that anybody can, like, it's not a problem. When you are pitching someone, say, oh, I can help you solve this problem, people be like, oh, is it nice to have? Yeah, it's okay. But if you are pitching a service to someone, like you're pitching an offer, and you're like, this is what I can hear, and person like, oh, this is really my problem. Like, if I can take this burden off my shoulder, I'll be very glad. Then you know that you are in the right niche. So yeah, so the last one is like your niche. As much as your niche, whatever the niche you are playing in, has to check all of these boxes, it's very important to like it. I know that like, you're an adult and is work, so you don't have to like be super passionate about what you do. If it's going to make you money, yeah, that's fine. But at the same time, it's something that you can actually stand doing it. What I mean by stand, like, you can tolerate what it takes to actually do that stuff. Because if you hate what you do and you're just doing it because, okay, is it high paying? For instance, let me give you an example. Everybody like going into tech or SaaS or stuff, and you're not really interested in it, and because you know that this is where the money is, or everybody becoming a virtual assistant, and that is not your alley, that is not what you like at all, I just want to do it, it's not going to be sustainable, because over time you are going to burn out, you are going to hate it, and you don't want to hate what you actually do. So that is why it's important to like your niche. So yeah, so now we're going to have looked at what the perfect niche entails. So we're going to talk about how to find your niche. So let's go into all of the scientific stuff, how to deconstruct finding your niche. So the big question here is, how do you how to find your niche? So now let's go take the test of how you can find your niche. So I'm going to walk you through steps that you can follow. So let's figure out this whole thing together. So step one is make a list of potential clients. I know that we don't have a client here. Just make a list. See, you'll be amazed when you actually list things out. Just pour your heart down. You'll be amazed at what you discover. So you make a list of potential clients that might buy the kind of clients that you want. So this is how to make the list. So I don't know how to make it. I don't know where to start from. So you're going to ask yourself this question: what kind of businesses do you buy from? Like you already, what is something that you don't mind paying money for? Do you understand? So for instance, maybe you love fashion, you don't mind buying clothes, buying things, trying them out and all of that. So that can be one stuff, because the truth is that most time when it comes to solving a problem or providing a service or creating an offer, it comes from yourself. What problem have you solved for yourself? Yeah, that's what you can solve for other people. So what businesses do you buy from? You can now have a list of this. Then what kind of content do you consume? What are you more drawn to? So when you go on YouTube, social media, what kind of content are you more drawn to? So that to give you an idea of the kind of your potential clients. If this is what you consume, you can also, there's tendency for you to create what you consume. So this is also how you can create your list of potential clients. What are you already interested in? Your interest has a long way to play in finding your niche. It's very important. So truthfully, put down, like, even if it's 100, just write down everything that you are interested in. So this is one. Then where do you go? Where do you hang out? Where do you see yourself? What kind of company excites? What kind of things excite you? This will also help you. So that is step one. You're going to the goal is for you to create a list of your potential clients, and this stuff will help you create the list of potential clients. So let's go straight to the step number two. Step number two is make a list of potential services. Like, what can you do? Actually, this is a very important step. So you're going to create a list of everything that you can do. So at this point, don't scale there, oh, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. Just put down everything you can do. For instance, in my own situation, say, oh, I know how to write. I'm a very good writer. I know how to write articles. I know how to write blog posts. I'm good at research. I'm good at finding patterns. I'm good at content creation. Like, just list everything that your potential services you're going to. So these are just examples. For instance, you are good at data entry, graphic design, content creation. So this is just an example. So you can just go ahead and create a list of things that you are good at. So the next step is to make a list of your interests. So I put this again because it's very important. What are you interested in? What do you easily understand? As much as human beings can learn anything, there are things that we can learn easily. There are things that we are more drawn to. For instance, I'm interested in businesses. I love startups. I love businesses. I also love to help people, to teach people, to share my knowledge, all of this stuff. So you're going to figure out what interests you, what you get easily. I understand patterns easily. I'm able to look beyond the letters I'm very detail oriented, to see the small things that people might not see. So this is another part. What do you get is another. What do you help people with. So you have to think that, okay, create a list of what is that one thing people used to come to me for help. What is that thing that people come to me that people always ask, oh, if this is your, oh, go and meet this person. Yes, as casual as that is, that will help you find your niche. So you also create a list of things that you help people with. So once you've created this list, this number one, list of potential clients, a list of potential services, and a list of, like your interest. Now, here is the big task. The big task is you are going to find one person for each of the things on your list and try it out. So now, for instance, you figured out like you love to, maybe you love to buy things, you're more fashion oriented. Now you can have maybe fashion pieces. This is just an example, fashion pieces. Then make a list of potential services. Maybe you are good with graphic design, or painting or drawing. You're not going to, okay, graphic design, fashion pieces. This place you have graphic design, stroke, maybe painting or whatever art. Then you are going, you've made a list of your interests. What do people come to you for normally? Like what do you have? What do you get easily? So now you are now going to be, okay, what do people come to me for? Okay, maybe people always come to me for ideas, like what do you think is the best clothes I should wear out, whatever, fashion advice. Let's say something like that. I'm just using like the most casual stuff, fashion advice stuff. So you can see that we have these three now. Can you see that it has started to make sense? So fashion pieces, like those are the kind of, businesses you buy from. Graphic design, the kind of services that you likely offer. You understand? Then fashion advice. Then we can now piece this stuff together and say, oh, that you can now say, oh, I design, I create design. Now this is going to be answering this question. It cannot be like I create, designs for fashion brands to help their customers make a decision. So you see how everything has come together now. Knowing all of this stuff, you are now able to have this stuff. So this is just like one combination. You can have like several combinations. Now this is where the big task is. Like I said, you have to find one person. We found one person. This is like one of our client persona, something like that, and try it out. See, there is no, oh, this is my niche. You have to try. When you are just starting out, you found one stuff, you try. So you are going to do this for all of the stuff you've listed and find maybe like 10, 20 and try it out. If you don't try, you never know. If you don't try, you actually never know. So now we are going to go into the next step. So when you do this, you try it, then you start finding, okay, this maybe now there is AI, I need to add AI to it, or maybe I need to now design a template. No, all of those stuff. But you will not figure out all of this stuff if you do not try it out. I hope this was really helpful. So once you found out one person from all of the stuff that we did earlier, you found your interest, your target, your potential target clients and all of that. Now we are going to now do this, our ultimate litmus test. That is what I call it. So now we're going to find our niche. So I made it really practical so that it can help you. So first of all, that's like what I said before, like we are going to now rate your services based on all of this stuff. So once you found out, like what we found out before, I said that I help, fashion brands, create graphics that helps customers make decisions, maybe fashion decisions, whatever. So this is one of the offer service that we have figured out. So we are going to test this stuff on this stuff. You understand? So this is the service. So we are going to test it on all of these points. So point number one is what? Enjoyment. That is very important. Like I said before, you have to enjoy what you do. I know work is work. Like you don't have to like be passionate and all of that, but it's something that you can stand, that you don't mind doing, that you know you can keep doing for a long time, because longevity is important. So if you are going to do, if you are doing something just for the money, you have no interest in it, when you start doing it for clients, you know, believe me, you are going to get frustrated, you're going to be tired. Even when you actually really love doing something, by the time you start doing it for work, you won't enjoy it as much as you do when you're just doing it for leisure. So this is very important. Ensure that you actually love what you're doing when you're doing your niche. So you're going to test this stuff on this first parameter. You're going to say, do I enjoy doing this thing? Is it what I can do for a long period of time, for a protracted period of time? So another thing is what? Profitability. Is this profitable? Do fashion brands need graphics to help customers make decisions? Is this a painful problem? You understand? Is it going to be profitable? Or even if it's something that fashion brands will need, is it what they want to invest in? Is it their biggest bottleneck in their businesses? So you have to, this is another question, another stuff you need to test this stuff. If this niche, what you are, the offer is going to be profitable. And how do you even know this? You check out related offers. You look at the supply, the demand for this particular stuff, and if your problem you are going to be solving is going to be worth it. So this is the next test you're going to be testing, that niche is client's painful need. I've said this many times. The more painful the need, the higher you're going to earn. Seriously. If, for instance, you are going to be creating this, you created an offer for course creator, what is the most painful problem for someone that, for a course creator or a digital, someone that sells digital products, to get people to actually buy the services? So if your offer is tied towards helping them find people to buy their services, that is a painful problem. That is a painful problem. So the more painful the problem is, the more you are going to be making money for that offer, for the service you are going to be providing. So this is the test. That's how I'm going to I test it. Test your niche or the service you are going to be providing on all of these criteria. Now, so once you've tested this, your offer, your service on this criteria, now you're not going to go to the scale. What if it ticks all of these boxes on one scale? So anything that averages from 7 up until 10, then that is a good signal of a niche that you should be in, or the offer that you should create, or the services that you should provide. So I said enjoyment, profitability, client's painful need. So you should be testing all of your services on this three stuff. Then anyone that averages from 6 to 10, then you should be trying that out. Then you're going to now go ahead and create a list of your top 10 services, top 10 offers that average, that averages from 7 to 10. So you're going to be creating, all of the list of all the offers that average 7 to 10. So when you create the list, what are you going to do? You're going to try them out. Yeah. You can't know until you try. That's the thing. There's no ultimate test that, oh, now this is the niche, this is what I'm going to do forever. This, you have to try. So when you go into the market, you are going to go ahead and provide these services to people. The big question is, how am I going to find the people to provide these services? You have to reach out. You have to reach out. If this is your services, then you have to reach out to fashion brands. Send emails, send cold emails. That said, I am actually offering a course. I'm going to be creating a course on how to apply for jobs, how to reach out in a way that you are going to be getting a response. So that's going to be like a 1-hour course, detailed course, and it's going to be for free, but it's not going to be available for everybody. So if you are interested, let me know in the comment section, and I will get you in on the detail, and if you can join my wait list and all of that. So this is the ultimate test. Once you've created your list, you're going to try out all the 10 services, provide the 10 services, then see the ones that get the most feedback, the one people are most interested in, and all of that. And you can now see how to combine it on, or how to like, or shaping it more, things to add, things to remove, and all of that. The truth is that, you know, when it comes to finding your niche, it's not about you finding the niche. Your niche will find you. The goal is always to just keep doing something, to keep working. The more you keep doing, that's why I say you should create a list of 10 stuff. The more you keep creating that offer, reaching out to people, refining it, doing the work, you now discover, oh, this one, I don't really like doing this thing. You cross it off your list. Oh, I really love this one. Becomes priority and all of that. So you just keep shaping it, you keep molding it, and at the end of the day, your niche will find you. It's a gradual process, and you cannot discover your niche if you actually do not go out. So once you've discovered, like, you create a list of the top 10 stuff that you are happy providing, the services that are, as after or you do all of this stuff, you're now going to go ahead and create a portfolio. Now, you don't need to create 10 different portfolio. You can just have one portfolio template that you can use to like create all of this stuff. Because when you are going to reach out, you need to have a portfolio. You need to be reaching out like you really know what you're doing, right? So, and that is not a problem. If you're thinking, oh, how can I create a portfolio? I'm new, calm down. I actually have the perfect solution for you. So I created one of the best portfolio templates. I did my research. I researched over 103 portfolio from top freelancers, and I was able to create a stellar portfolio. Now, this portfolio, it took me hours. I put in a lot of work, a lot of research to make sure that every section, I'm nailing every section, and I finally did it, and I put it up on my website. So I'll put a link in the description where you can go download this portfolio just for a token. This portfolio is, normally I should charge 30,000 naira, which is about $20, $25 for the portfolio. But because I really want to help people and I want people to like actually get it and land the remote job opportunities of their dream, I've gotten testimonials from already. So you can also, you know, it costs just 7,000 naira. Just imagine 7,000 naira is standing between you and landing your remote job. So if you absolutely want to get this, so click on the link in my description and join my community. When you join my community, you have access to free stuff and discounts, so you don't want to miss out on this opportunity. So yeah, we've attacked the elephant in the room, finding your niche, and I'm going to be creating a document that will help you detail all of this into a checklist so that you can just go through it and check. So if you are interested in that niche finding document, let me know in the comment section and just tell me that you're interested and I'll send it across to you. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I hope this video was really helpful. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Bye.